What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of the Teddy Santis New Balance 990 V6 in this Mindful Gray and Bone colorway. So the New Balance 990 V6 is the latest generation of New Balance's iconic 990 running shoe series. And though it's been headlined by Action Bronson's collaborations, this pair right here is arguably the most sought after and the most anticipated colorway of the 990 V6 to release so far. So this is part of their Made in USA collection, and they released on July 27th alongside a 990 V4 that shared a very similar color scheme, with this pair retailing for a price of $220 US or $285 here in Canada. Like I mentioned right in the beginning, the official colorway for this shoe is Mindful Gray and Bone, and the style code is M990SS6. So jumping right into it, the base layer of the sneaker is constructed out of a cream colored mesh. So you can see this mesh on the toe box. And right above this, we have this white colored synthetic leather overlay, and then pressed on top we have the New Balance branding, and this is surrounded with a layer of reflective silver colored 3M. And we have another overlay of 3M right on the very bottom of the medial edge of the toe box. Overlaid on either side, we have this synthetic white colored nubuck, and then wrapping on the front end of the toe box, we have this dark tan, almost light brown colored pig suede, which feels very buttery and extremely soft to the touch. Covering the eye stays of the shoe, we have a cream colored suede which also feels very soft and nice, and then the top two eyelets, this is again covered in a reflective 3M silver layer. Beneath this, we have more mesh, and then overlaid on top of this, we have this oversized New Balance N logo, which is also crafted out of a reflective 3M layer. And then underneath this, we have more of that synthetic white colored leather, and then on the very bottom of the mid panel, we have more of that cream colored suede that we saw earlier covering the eyelets. Moving next to this, we have another 3M overlay, but instead of silver, this is colored in more of a cream tone, pretty much matching the rest of the look of the shoe. Underneath this, we have more of that light brown or dark tan colored suede, just like the suede that we saw on the toe box, which balances it very well. And then stamped onto the lateral side, we have 990 branding in silver. And then in the middle of the heel, we have this cream colored overlay with Made in USA and New Balance branding done in silver, and then the top of the heel, this is covered in an off-white colored mesh. As far as the laces go, so these come with two different lace options. The standard or default lace that they come with is a flat style lace done in an off-white tone, but they also give you a secondary cream colored lace if you want to give the shoe a bit more of a tonal and darker look to it. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is crafted using the same mesh that we saw on the toe box and around the side panels of the shoe. However, the top half of the tongue, this is lightly padded and it's covered in that same mesh that we saw on the top of the heel. And we have this overlay that allows the laces to loop through, along with New Balance 990 V6 branding, which is pressed on in sort of a felt-like finish with a silver colored outlining. The back of the tongue and the inner liner of the shoe, this is covered in a white colored mesh, and despite the chunky appearance of the V6, there isn't too much padding around this inner collar of the shoe. And then moving on to the insoles, so these come with a very well padded foam-lined insole. It's lined in a white colored textile on the top, and we have New Balance running branding pressed onto the heel in gray. So the upper of the 990 V6, this sits atop this very chunky foam midsole, which is primarily constructed out of New Balance's fuel cell technology, which is one of the most popular and top of the line running shoe technologies that's often incorporated in New Balance performance running shoes. So this midsole is painted in this cream color on the front half and white on the bottom heel, and in addition to fuel cell, they also incorporate an end cap wedge, which is this darker cream hit which wraps around the heel. An end cap, for those who aren't familiar with it, is a dual density foam setup consisting of a softer EVA core surrounded by a stiffer polyurethane rim, giving you that good balance of softness while giving you a lot of support and a bit of that stiffness as well. Finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so this outsole is primarily constructed out of a dark gray colored rubber. It has this wavy style traction pattern on the forefoot, along with these grooves to give you added flexibility, and in the middle of the heel, this white portion here, this is exposed fuel cell foam, which sits in the midsole of the shoe. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, so my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I usually go down to a 9.5 or a half size down in a lot of Made in USA models like the 992, 993, 990 V3, V4, V5. And for the V6, I also prefer to go a half size down. I feel like this shoe naturally is more of a longer fitting sneaker, and I'll admit straight out of the box, the width of the shoe can feel a little bit snug. Specifically around the area where the ball of my foot is or where my toes start. The first time that I actually put these on feet, it actually felt pretty snug and a little bit uncomfortable. but after wearing these for about an hour or two, quickly they broke in, and by the end of the day it felt very comfortable, and I didn't feel any pain around this toe box area whatsoever. And even by going a half size down, like I mentioned, this shoe runs a little bit longer. There's still just over an index finger's width between the top of the shoe and the top of my toe, which I think is perfect. So if you have a wider foot, and I don't think the shoe comes in different widths, so if you're stuck with a standard width 990 V6, you'd probably want to go true to size if you don't mind that extra length in the shoe. But if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot, I prefer to go a half size down. It gives you more of that snug one-to-one fit, and like I said, it breaks in very nicely. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel very comfortable on feet. Obviously you can see there's a ton of cushioning in this midsole. It's packed with fuel cell and end cap, so it feels pretty chunky underfoot, I won't lie about that, but it is very comfortable. You can really feel that cushioning straight out of the box. It has more of a bouncy than pillowy feel to it, and because of that it feels a little bit unstable in certain respects, especially when you compare it to, for example, a 990 V5, which I thought felt very stable and very locked in. This pair, however, is a bit more wobbly, but by sacrificing that, you get a ton more cushioning, especially underneath the heel. So if you like more of that responsive, more dynamic feel underfoot, then you're gonna love the 990 V6. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, material quality was pretty solid. Even though they utilize synthetic materials on the upper, a good chunk of the shoe is made out of genuine suedes, and that to me felt like it was very high quality and I was very happy with it. And on that same note, the build and the craftsmanship on this shoe, I thought it was pretty flawless. I know I've seen online on Reddit, for example, some people's pairs look pretty busted up, so I think it really depends on who was making your shoe in the factory, and a part of that is luck of the draw, but to me at least, I can only speak to my pair, and I was very happy with how these turned out. The stitch job was good, not too many glue stains whatsoever, and the panels were cut in place consistently, meaning my left foot and the right foot lined up and looked identical. So for anyone that picked this up, hopefully your pair was solid as well. It's a shame to see poor workmanship on New Balance made in USA shoes. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. From a colorway perspective, I can see why people love this sneaker. This is definitely one of the nicest 990 V6s to release so far. I love the different variations of the cream, the off-white, and the brown hits. It goes so well together, and like I said before, I like how balanced it is with this brown hit on the toe box as well as on the heel. It almost gives it a beginning and end, and it packages it all together so well in this nice complete package. So this is a shoe I think you can wear both in the summer and the fall. Obviously with the tones of the shoe, it makes it pretty easy to pull off, and you don't have to be a fashionista or someone that's into high-end fashion to be able to put together an outfit that matches the look of the shoe well. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Teddy Santis New Balance 990 V6 in the Mindful Gray colorway? Is this a pair you guys picked up at full price? Are you potentially waiting for these to go on sale? Or is it not really your thing and this is a straight pass for you? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, follow my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.